Palm Springs Tower, squawk 6250.
6250.
Papa Del Tango India Mike. Palm Springs altimeter is 29085, radar contact about 10 miles west of the Palm Springs VOR. Presently landing runway 31, so you're requesting straight in for 13.
If that's available, yes please.
Ever correction, Papa Del Tango India Mike, make straight in runway 13 left and clear to land. Wind is 09005.
Clear to land, runway 13 left, Papa Del Tango India Mike, thanks.
Palm Springs clearance plus 4658 is type PC12 slam code request clearance to Vegas S file.
This 4658 Palm Springs clearance. Good afternoon. Unable to give you S file and I'll be full route standby. Pilotus 4658 is cleared to Las Vegas Airport via Flight Cathedral 1 departure procedure to Palm Springs. Victor 370 to 29 Palms. Victor 538 Cresso. Join the Cresso 3 arrival. Maintain 7,000. Expect flight level 2405 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 126.7. Squawk 6316.
Plus 4658 is cleared to Vegas via Cathedral 1, Palm Springs, Victor 37029, Palms, Victor 538 Presso, Presso 3. Initially climb 7,000 expected for director 5, departure 167 plus 6316 plus 67.
Plus 4658 3 back is correct. Tango India Mike, taxi to ramp via Aqua Language frequency.
Taxiing to the ramp, remaining on this frequency, Papa Del Tango India Mike.
Ontario Tower, Cessna 237 Charlie Alpha, approximately 4 miles to the west, inbound to land.
Number 237 Charlie Alpha Roger, inner left traffic. Left downwind runway 26 left at port base.
Enter left downwind 26 left and record your base 237 Charlie Alpha.
Charlie Tower United 242 on the visual for 20 right, will be turning for a right base shortly.
United 242 Jolly Tower, runway 20 right, clear to land, wind 170 at 13.
Clear to land, 20 right, United 242.
Palomar Tower, Junior 523 Kilo, ILS 124.
Senior 520 Yankee Kilo, Palomar Tower, runway 24, clear to land, wind 210 at 1. Number 237 Charlie Alpha, runway 26 left, clear to land.
26 left, clear to land 7 Charlie Alpha.
Palm Springs ramp plus 4658 east ramp with weather for taxi.
Pilotus 4658, Palm Springs ground, runway 31 right, taxi via Echo and Bravo.
Trail right via Echo Bravo 465.
Riverside Tower, good morning, November 290 Alpha with you on the island.
Number 2903 Alpha Riverside Tower, good afternoon. Runway 9 cleared low approach, report missed.
November 290 Alpha, we have low approach, runway 9. Next report is missing.
Palm Springs Tower plus 4658 ready to go to right at Bravo.
Pilotus 4658, Palm Springs Tower, runway 31 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff to right plus 465.
Palomar Tower, Junior 523 Kilo, Juliet 24.
Here's our Yankee Kilo, Roger, taxi into the ramp via Alpha.
Via Alpha.
Pilotus 4658, contact SoCal departure.
Contact departure 465.
Cessna 7 Charlie Alpha is clearly active, taxi to the GA parking please.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode. Finally, I'm flying again. Man, the month of May really is full of birthday celebrations. It's just, well, busy times. Hey Kimo, welcome on the stream. Good to see you. Guys, I've got a really awesome announcement. And the announcement is that next Saturday, that's the 3rd of June, starting early here Amsterdam time, it's 0800 Zulu, I'm going to stream for 10 hours long. You know what I'm going to stream? My girlfriend is up for a challenge to train. She has no prior experience or knowledge with aviation or flight simming other than me just bragging about PilotEdge and my flight sim in my cockpit. But she has never really flown before. She has no idea what VFR traffic pattern flying is. But she is up for a challenge to learn how to fly a traffic pattern on PilotEdge, the Cat 3 rating, to earn that rating in just one day with me teaching. So what I'm going to do next Saturday, and I hope you find this as exciting as I do, is to stream her training to prepare for passing on a Cat 3 rating on some kind of Delta airport. I don't know where. I know it should be St. Louis, obviously, where we are currently also in this flight. And she is going to, I hope, pass for the Cat 3 in under 10 hours with no prior knowledge, no prior experience, with me sitting here next to her, prepping her up. And then she is going to go full on trying to pass for that exam, which is going to be really exciting. She is as exciting as me. Also, I need to prepare as well. How am I going to train her to pass for that rating? I have no idea yet. I don't even know if that is even a feasible goal. Kimo, uncertified flight instructor. Yeah, exactly. I'm completely uncertified as a flight instructor as well. But isn't that cool? I mean, I'm really looking forward. That's next Saturday, 0800 Zulu up to, I guess, 2000 Zulu or so. She is going to go full on here on webcam, on stream, from scratch, training, preparing for nailing that Cat 3 rating, which is going to be really, really exciting. So if you're up for that, guys, have a look at Saturday, and I will repeatedly announce that I'm going that I've scheduled that stream throughout the week, so that all of you guys know that that's going to be a day that's worth joining here on the channel. At least I hope you find this as exciting as I think as well. Guys, we're currently at St. Louis. Again, we've been doing traffic pattern flying practice here on St. Louis. We've did so by daytime and by night. This time I'm gonna make a short range flight from one delta to the next. Again, I've got these training flights that I assigned myself to based on the Uncertified Pilot curriculum that I developed on the UncertifiedPilot.com website. And so the next stage would be just to fly from one Delta airport to the next. I've already got plenty experience with doing so, but I just like to do these streams anyway. Cessna Skypilot, wow, I finally caught you live. Hey, Tim, hey, Cessna Skypilot, welcome on the stream. Yeah, so that's going to be the flight. So let me just show you. We're going to go to Bakersfield today with flight following. Very nice flight. Did this flight in a similar way just a week ago or so. But I think this is a really nice flight. I also like the photo reel of the Bakersfield area. So anyway, St. Louis, it's over here. We've got VMC now. 3 hours ago it was IMC. So that's why I needed to wait a little longer for us to have some nice flying weather. We've got VMC. Let me just have a quick look here what the METAR is saying. METAR is saying 310 and 9 knots. Nice, 10 statute miles of visibility and clear skies. Very, very nice. So then my idea was just to go up north and actually catch the inbound radial of Schefter. If you are very near Bakersfield or Meadowsfield, I believe on PilotEdge everyone is calling that field Bakersfield, even though we've got a non-towered airport to the south of Meadowsfield, supposedly Bakersfield. I think that the tower controllers here also refer to Meadows as Bakersfield, but we're going to see. So we're going to go straight to Schefter, and I guess 10 miles before we're going to already tune into tower and say, here we are. Obviously, we are on flight following, so we're just going to say airport is inside and we'll be signed over to. Cessna Skypilot, for your information, I'm the one that always mentions the fuel selector valve. Ah, Cessna Skypilot, right. Thank you for doing that. And anyone on YouTube that's reminding me to better my flying, that's really, really much appreciated feedback, guys. You know, as the uncertified pilot, I'm actually streaming this so you guys can teach me rather than I'm demonstrating perfect flying skills. That's not what the Uncertified Pilot channel is all about. I'd like to show you guys what the joy is of learning to fly. And that's also why I think it's so incredible, so exciting to also allow my girlfriend here to fly on the flight sim. I'm really curious to see if she's able to. I think so, but I really need to prepare some training, some specific, really targeted training, because otherwise, in one day, from scratch, to learn how to fly traffic pattern on PilotEdge, doing the ATC yourself as well, we're gonna see. Oh yeah, and also very important, that also means that we got a new donation goal. And the donation goal is dedicated to her. Practicing. So that's first off, I was actually kind of surprised that she was actually interested in learning to fly herself. She just told me that she was actually, when she was younger, also at one time considered perhaps to become a pilot herself. I never knew that, which is, well, also quite thrilling, I guess, to know. So I thought, well, then just hop on the cockpit. Why have you never asked me to teach you how to fly? And she said, well, work, and she's also a university researcher, and so I thought, well, this is a great challenge. Then learn to fly traffic patterns here on PilotEdge. So that's what we're gonna do. Hey, Avana, good to see you. How was your flight? You went to Camarillo, right? I need to do some other work again, so I didn't see you arrive there. I hope your flight went pretty well, and welcome you on the stream. So. Yeah, enough of that. Again, back to my flight. So to Bakersfield, flight following. Oh no, I was referring to the donation goal. Yeah, focused. Keep focused, Tim. The donation goal. So I thought, let's dedicate the donation goal to her. So she is actually interested in learning how to fly, at least here on the flight simulator. So what about if we collectively also on that day, but also perhaps in preparation of Saturday, support her with actually doing a real-world introductory flight here in the Netherlands, here in a Cessna, hopefully on some airport here, and let's see if she can actually transfer the knowledge that she gained through my training here in the flight sim then that Saturday, if she can transfer that into the real world and actually do some flying and get interested in flying as well. And perhaps we can see her more often here on the stream, which would be so cool. Not a goal on its own, but that would be really awesome. So I dedicate the donation goal as of today to saving up for a real-world introductory flight here with a flight instructor, and I will obviously video record that flight so I can share that with you guys as well on YouTube, and you'll see how she transfers the stuff that she learns here on PilotEdge to that real-world airplane. I think it's a really exciting, exciting project. I hope you find it as well. Avanak, Bakersfield to Camarillo went pretty well, forgot a few things, and that's the fun of it, as usual. Good to know that you even that you made it to your destination airport, which no doubt already, I know that you're already a pretty good pilot there, Avanak, so yeah. And most likely I will also forget to do some things in this flight. So back to my flight of today to Bakersfield, again VMC, also at Bakersfield, let me check. Variable 4 knots, 9 statute miles clear visibility. That's good. We can look at the weather charts in just a moment. So actually, it's just a fly right over to Shafter VOR, and with flight following. We're going to fly at 5,500 feet because of terrain, and also we have an easterly VFR heading. So that seems to be just right. We've got some terrain here in the departure leg. So yeah, I'm just going to ask for a northbound departure, and as soon as we are high up enough, we might already tune into the VOR here of Shafter and go straight ahead. I think it's really, really basic. Let's have a quick look at the weather. Today's forecast, generally. ForeFlight, you can do this. Yes, it can. Low pressure areas, that's usually not a good sign, right? So that's rising air, so condensation, cloud formation. Also got a cold front, those are the nasty ones. It's not really in our area yet, but cloud formation can even be behind or in front of that front line. So the general idea is here, there might be some bad weather on the lower here. Let me see. Lurking around, I mean. Next. Airmats IMC, and this was issued, yeah, so this is 1500 Zulu. We're currently already at 1900 Zulu, close. So this is already dated. This is 1800. Yeah, so this is more valid. So you can see the change from here to there. There's IMC on the ocean as usual on the coastal line. Doesn't concern us. We're going to fly away from the coast. So this is more related to San Luis here in this current area. Okay, but it's not moving inwards, land inwards. So that's good. Significant weather chart. This is 06 Zulu to the left. And 18, I guess, yeah, to the right. So as you can see, starting at the day, we've got some marginal VMC north near San Francisco, IMC near the coast. And here during the day, we see some marginal VMC actually developing, right? Some blue cloudy depictions there around the LA area. There's another one here that perhaps is a little bit more specific, because this one is at 12 Zulu, again, still dated, but we're currently at 1900 Zulu. This one is at 00 Zulu. You can see here at 1200 Zulu, the guys, I don't know if this is actually a prediction or forecast or whether this was actually a description of the weather at 1200 Zulu at that time. I don't know. Anyway, it was IMC, some marginal VMC, and you can see as the day progresses, only IMC near the coast. Okay. Satellite imagery, no thick clouds, so that's good. I can see some. Okay, so I guess no SIGMETs there. This is vapor in the area, so again confirms not a lot. There's always vapor in the area, but not really thick, kind of dense clouds. So no thunderstorms, I expect. This is 2100 Zulu. Yeah, 2100 Zulu. Okay, so that's I guess in the next hours. That's concerns our flight. This is ceilings, only near the coast. Confirms what we saw in the in the previous charts, around 3,000-ish feet. So that's good. VMC. That's good. Okay. This is a few hours later. You can see still the same, and all these charts are far ahead in time. Doesn't concern our flight. This is again ceiling. Yeah. Precipitation. Our area, none. Good. Also further in time, good. This is visibility again near on the ocean. Visibility is bad. 00 Zulu. This is 2100 Zulu. Yeah. So no visibility. So I guess the IMC stuff is visibility there, and also some ceiling. Wind speeds at 6,000 feet. Yeah, going downwards, so from the north to the south. So I guess we might have a crosswind while we are flying. And this is valid 1700 Zulu, so that's already a bit dated. This is at 8. 2000 Zulu, I mean, again, you can see a little bit from the north to south, but it's going to be a little bit more of a headwind, I see. It's coming from the northeast to the southwest. Okay, we're going to look at ForeFlight. ForeFlight calculates our headwind, so we're going to see. Chemo, episode 70 already. Yeah, man, I noticed as well. I'm still at Get 6. Yeah, but it's strange though, guys, because I even though I like to learn, right, obviously as part of the channel, and also progress through the cat ratings, I actually just like to take my time and just go in a really slow pace. So yeah, I guess that's just fine. This is my channel, I can do whatever. Okay, winds, and this is already far ahead. Let me see, lowering freezing levels. Well, far up, we're not going to fly that much higher up, so no probability of icing then. No. At least at 7,000 feet, and that's the last chart. Okay, guys, so we've got some IMC, marginal VMC-ish kind of weather near the coast, so near San Luis, where we are currently, but it seems to be all fine in our case, and we can also look here at the meter, what we just did, starting the stream, VMC. Also look at the forecast. And you can see that it's going to be VMC throughout the day. So that's good. Only tomorrow you can see that there's some IMC. And I know that a few hours before, a few hours earlier, today it was IMC here. So the weather's actually improving, which is good. So we're clear to go. We can also look at Bakersfield, by the way, some TAFs, if there are any. Well, it's just good weather. Okay. Nice. So weather-wise, we're fine. In terms of the flight, yeah, so I did a flight with Avanek a week ago, a shared cockpit flying just to test it out. We're going to stream that as well, guys. It's also very, very interesting to do these shared flights. Anyway, we did actually the same flight, but we went this way around up north, which is a more safer route. It takes us a little bit more time. We went to Avenel here because there are some untowered airports over there. So in case we've got an engine out, we can divert to those airfields, which is interesting. Also, there's a lot of terrain here, so we circumvent that terrain. But there was one thing that I didn't know before, which was that the controller actually instructed us to stay clear of the north side here of this Bakersfield area, because that's actually already the end of the coverage area of PilotEdge. When we were on flight following, we need to stay in that coverage area. So we actually needed to shortcut our flight there and eventually still go direct to Schefter. So this time around, I'm just going to go straight down Schefter, go a little bit up north to avoid the mountain peaks here. But that's why. We got some MTRs, as you can see, a couple of them, VR1256. We've got also IR here on the to the top. This is low flight, so I guess when we're gonna cross this particular perimeter here, this particular way up to this direction to Bakersfield, we're going to overfly that traffic. So that's good, but we need to stay very vigilant at all times, even on flight following, because we are responsible for traffic separation. Okay, so that's good. Anything else? No. Are there any visual reference points? So yeah, I picked a first visual reference point here at the departure end, Santa Lucia, a lake that we might see. We also got some terrain there, but we're just going to go fly high up, and as soon as we track that Schefter VOR, we're going to go straight ahead. Here we're going to cross that highway in the Bakersfield area that we might notice. Also some airfields there, so that's fine. Okay, that's going to be our flight. Let me verify. Route, airports we did, runway, airspace, weather, altitude, diversions, frequencies we're going to set, and fuel. Oh yeah, let's see what ForeFlight is telling us. It's going to take us 51 minutes. It's 81 nautical miles and 12 gallons of fuel. One thing that I should also incorporate of my pre-flight planning here is traffic pattern altitude, because that's not always Mark's comments. No, I don't think it's necessarily there. The runways. It's heading, lightning. Oh no, it's here on top, right? Traffic pattern altitude at San Luis is 1200 MSL, and the airport is at 200 MSL, so 1000 feet HL. Okay, and the same for... But I know with John Wayne, there's actually a difference in traffic pattern altitude. One runway, the 20 left, has 850, according to Keith, who told me while we were flying there. And the other runway 20 right has just 1000. So I don't know how that is depicted. Let me check in just a second. Bakersfield's, yeah, also 1000 feet HL. Okay. Let me go to John Wayne to see how ForeFlight actually tells us the difference between those traffic patterns. Oh, yeah. So here, looking at John Wayne, I don't know if you guys can see even. You can see, yeah, 1000 feet HL. But I know that the runways, each runway has its own traffic pattern altitude. So where can I find that here on ForeFlight? Airport facility directory then? 1000 feet. I don't see it. Just 1000 feet. Oh no, here. Yeah. So runway 02, yeah, 20 left. Traffic pattern altitude here is 800 in the middle. Yeah, so that's a mental note. Don't rely on this quick kind of go back. Quick kind of pain here to have a look at the traffic pattern altitude, because this is just a summary or some kind of selection, and there could actually be a difference between traffic pattern altitudes for each runway. Just a mental note. Okay, that's our route, so we can file our flight plan. It's just VFR. No one cares, but I care. Plugins, PilotEdge, file flight plan. We're alpha. Well, let's pretend that we are alpha. And we are currently at San Luis. Go to Bakersfield. Routes. Done. Altitudes. 2500. Oh, that was me. Oh, how I did that actually. Altered, I don't care. En route, 50 minutes is okay. And fuels is okay. Fuel hours is also okay. File via ForeFlight plan. Good. And let's hop into the cockpit. Okay. So here we are. We have our flight plan on file. Again, good weather as you guys can see. Some wind. Looking at the windsock. So each row or each color here represents an added 3 knot of wind speed. So when, let me see, this one then does this also include this one? No, just this is one is obviously always straight, I think. But I guess reading this windsock, this would then be 3. I guess you should count that as well. So 3, again 3, so that's 6 knots and a bit. So around 8 knot wind, something like that. I think that's the way how to read it. I think you should include that first ring as well. Hello. All right, San Luis. Where are we parked? Well, near the tower. That's quite obvious, but I don't know exactly where. Let's go up. Oh yeah, here's the runway. There's 29, and we are over there. Yeah, so that's going to be a simple taxi here, all the way down to the beginning of the runway. Awesome. Very nice airport, San Luis here. Just free custom airport from the org. Interesting. Shift 9. All right. So let's do a cold and dark check. Parking brakes are set. My Saitek panel is also in sync. Good. Let's pretend we've got live vests here. Fire extinguishers in the green. Doors closed. Windows closed. ELT set to auto. Cabin air. Let's pretend that that's all set. Flap lever is up and our flaps are also actually up. My lever is working good. Trim is working as well. Fuel tank set to both. Cutoff is in. Alternate is in. Let's go over there. Avionics are off. Beacon is only off, and this also corresponds with my panel here. Good. And again, synced. Good. We're set on dark. That's completed. So let's turn on our batteries. We've got some fuel, luckily, but do we have enough fuel? That's going to be 11 gallons in each tank, so that's 21. I'd like to have a bit more, actually. ForeFlight was telling us 12 gallons. I should also memorize those metrics, those calculations, because these calculations are quite simple. You should always fly by daytime with an added 30 minutes of fuel. Also, you need to have fuel for taxi and start up. I don't know if ForeFlight also includes those gallons here in the fuel calculation or fuel consumption calculation here. Let's just be on the safe side, as usual. It's also quite surprising, actually, to me. No, I don't like to do this. Weight and balance here. Quite surprising to me that a lot of accidents, engine out accidents in the real world, according to the AFBA Flight Training Magazine, is due to lack of fuel or bad fuel planning. So just ran out of fuel and just crashed. It's amazing. Okay, so that's fuel. I turn on the batteries. There was a fuel pumps on. Good. Avionics on. Let's test if those are working. Also like to flaps here. Go down. Go down and sync. Good. I'm going to set that soon. This is all set. It's my annunciator panel that's working. This is in sync. And again, fuel we checked. Circuit breakers are still in. Okay. Avionics off. Let me also check my flight controls. Yoke to the right. That one goes down. Up. Up. Elevators. Good. Also the trim. Yep, that's working. Our rudder is working as well. Good. That means that we can start our engines, ladies and gentlemen. Prime our engine. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cut off. Throttle a bit in. Again, parking brakes are set. Fuel tank set to both. Let's also, for realism and awesomeness, fasten my seat belts. Real seat belts. And yeah, we're ready to go. So, no one here around the prop? Nope. Clear prop. selector or the EDOs back to both, 1200, oil pressure's in the green, lean for ground, something like that. 1000 grand generator on, rising the M meter, avionics on, flaps are already up, mode C, confirmed, and we can set our frequencies. So, plates, close, or we can just go through the map, that's more quick. Away, yeah. San Luis, so ATIS, that's the first. COM2, that's gonna be 120.6. First gonna set the frequencies, then gonna listen to them. Set. We also need the ATIS of Bakersfield, and that's gonna be 118.6. Good. That's ATIS. Then COM1. I'd like to be on ground, obviously. There is no clearance here, I think. No. So ground 1 to 1.6. And then we're going to switch to tower.
Gonna be high for the approach here.
124.
LA Tower, this is Baron 33 Alpha Juliet.
Good.
Holding short, runway 24 left.
Verified.
One
Verified.
whiskey uniform. Second.
COM1 out. Yeah. So we can focus. All right. Then nav. I like to have Schefter here in the nav 115.4. So nav 115.4. It's still set. Good. And the OBS can be set on, let me just see the direction here, general direction is going to be 70 degrees, 70. Well, that's not too far off my previous setting. Good. And we already have a reading, that's great as well. Yeah. I think that's about right. Chris Mo Killer, I have a question. I'm really struggling on flying the Cessna 172 from A to B, like planning the flight. Can you walk through it today slowly? Well, I'm trying to here, but Chris, I was slow in the beginning as well. I actually find myself still a bit slow. I would recommend you to go to my YouTube channel, UncertifiedPilot, and watch my first episode where I'm a complete newbie to flying a Cessna realistically in flight sim, and I just go in a very slow pace, very incrementally develop my flight skills, including flight planning, but also ADC. So if you're interested in the channel, hop over to the Uncertified Pilot YouTube channel and have a look there. And there's a lot of content up to episode 70, where you see me also struggling with all this stuff. Ah, there goes the Cessna in front of us there. Frequencies are set, good. Nothing else that we need. No, I don't think so. So that's good, and again altimeter, yeah, so we can listen to the ATIS.
San Luis CORGNL information Victor.
Victor.
000 Zulu weather. Wind 300 at 5.
Well,
Visibility
not too far
10.
off.
Sky clear. Temperature 20. Dew point -19. Altimeter 3003. Arriving runways 2529. Departing runways 2529.
You have
Advise
Victor.
on initial contact. You have Victor.
Thank you. We've got Victor. COM1 on again. Alrighty, so what I'm going to do is ask for flight following. Why? Because why shouldn't you? Flight following is a free service provided by ATC on a workload permitted basis. So that means when these guys have some time on their hands, which is usually the case, on PilotEdge, they provide additional following. They watch over you as angels, guardian angels, while you're flying, alert you on airspace that you might cross, or give you clearance to cross airspace. It can also provide you with traffic alerts, which is really, really important. And it's also just providing you a little bit more ATC stuff to do, to fly, changing frequencies, which is really interesting.
Cleared for the option 29 Papa Hotel Alpha Victor Alpha.
Ah, that's Avanek. Thank you for joining, Avanek. Awesome. Chris McKiller. Yep, I have checked it out. I watched most of them. I've learned a lot. Good for you, Chris, and thank you for following me on the channel.
For the I-5, third time you busted your altitude or speed. Same intentions.
Yeah, I'll just sign off and try back a little bit later. Thanks, sir.
Wilson, Bravo Charlie, SoCal departure, radar contact.
So we're going
to
request flight following here from ground. It's the lowest position, the lowest frequency in the hierarchy of an airport. So if there would also be clearance delivery, then that's where you start. If there's no clearance delivery, mostly in Delta, in most Delta airports, you start with ground up.
Other aircraft call taken. Number 546 Golf Club.
Let's wait for a gap here. And also, because it's going to be a long request, it's good to first do a cold call. Just say, ground, here I am, with a VFR request. And then he knows already, I guess, that I'm going to request for flight following.
6724,
but he can also just perhaps sequence me in between all the other stuff he's now doing, so he can devote his full attention when he's listening to me.
3-3 Alpha Juliet.
Rather than just saying, I'm ready for taxi, I'm going to provide him with a lot of information.
Baron 3-3 Alpha Juliet at 1000.
Baron 3-3 Alpha Juliet, SoCal departure. Fly heading 130.
Fly heading 130, 3-3 Alpha Juliet.
San Luis ground, Sky Patel Tango and Mike VFR request.
PHTIM, ground standby.
Standby. So
that's
the use of a cold call. So he will just come back to me when he has time.
27, clear to land, ident to acknowledge.
Tower, Cessna 33 November Zulu.
Cessna 733 November Zulu, Limerick Tower, there we go, runway 27, clear to land.
Clear to land 27, 733 November Zulu, thank you.
Service 546 off, radar contact, 5 miles west San Bernardino Airport, Ontario, altimeter 3000, transition Charlie airspace at or above 3000.
Let's just wait.
I don't hear it. Wait, what's the Bravo Charlie? Clear direct lane, resume departure, climbing to 4000.
Let's wait. It's busy, I know.
PHTIM, go ahead.
Pablo Telting your mic is a Cessna Skyhawk Slant Alpha. We're currently near the tower with information Victor requesting flight following to Bakersfield at 5500.
PHTIM, departure frequency 120.55, squawk 6533.
Departure frequency 120.55 and squawk 6533 for Papa Hotel Tango Mike.
PHTIM, read that correct?
Good. So, we got a squawk code, so we
San Luis Tower,
got a label.
Hotel Victor Alpha is midfield, runway 29er.
Ah, that's...
PHAVA, runway 29er, click the option.
Avanek.
Cleared for the option 29er.
Good to hear his voice. Let me see. So, squawk. 6533. There we are. So now we're popping up on his radar, and he knows, referring to that squawk code, that that I'm on my way. That my flight intention is to go to Bakersfield at 5500. We can still divert from that altitude, but I should tell him to. So it's
Los Angeles Tower Cardinal 34633.
It's not that he is instructing me to fly a particular heading or a particular altitude. He's following me, so he likes to get updates on what I'm doing. If I'm changing, significantly changing from my plans.
Burbank clearance, go to San Luis Airport, Van Nuys 3 departure,
so,
transition as filed. Maintain
now we've got clearance, now we've got flight following. Now I need to request taxi.
Departure frequency.
Still on ground because
134.2
we still
squawk
need to request for taxi here on ground.
Eclipse 707, Charlie Papa, clear to the San Luis Airport, Van Nuys 3 departure, Fillmore, transition as filed. Climb maintain 4000, expect 4000, 10 minutes after departure. Departure 134.2, squawk 3435 for 7 Charlie Papa.
Eclipse 7 Charlie Papa, back right. Other aircraft calls.
Cardinal 34633 is ready for departure at 25 left.
Roger, stand by 1.
It is busy, which is kind of nice actually, but not when you're on ground. In the meantime, Avanak is doing his laps, his patterns. He's on final, I think. Let's see. That's him. Oh, it is hard with TrackIR. Okay, Avanak. Show us the money. Show us your skills. The legend.
Limburg Tower, 733 November Zulu. We seem to have an inoperative rudder pedal.
Or 733 November Zulu. Rogers, is there something you need?
Well, I suppose that we would eventually need a taxi back, but maybe we
There
can
he
finish
goes.
up the mission here. It's 3 November Zulu.
There he goes. Just
Yeah,
behind
you
this
can close it out
Skyhawk.
here if you want. That's pass for the I-8.
All right, thanks very much for your help, 3 November Zulu.
And touchdown. Seems to be a nice landing. Good job. All right. San Luis ground, Sky Papa Tel Tango, and you might near the tower with Victor, ready for taxi. Northbound departure.
Bye. PHTIM, Roger, stand by.
All right, stand by. Papa Hotel, Tango, and you might stand by. Again, engine is good. One concern, again, is just stock 172. We've got a huge or a very high oil temperature, which is not a good thing. And shouldn't be the case, actually. I guess only when you've got some engine troubles. Come on, give us our taxi. It's just a short, very simple. Although, I don't know where the... this is a non-movement area, I suppose. I don't know for sure, but that means if that's the case, that we can also freely taxi in front of that movement area threshold line, which might perhaps be already somewhere around there. I don't know by heart, so I just stay put here. But in that case, we can also, while taxiing, request taxi clearance, as long as we don't taxi over that movement area line. There's a dash line with... What is he up to? Taxi clearance. So let me use that time to again, guys, remind you of my early announcement here on the stream. I'm going to teach my girlfriend next Saturday, 3rd, from 0800 Zulu, as you see here in the banner. Teach her.
Bravo Tango India Mike Santa Barbara ground.
That's San Luis ground for Papa Tel Tango. You mark near the tower, requesting taxi to the active runway. Switch of controllers.
Bravo Del Tango India Mike, runway 29er, taxi via Alpha.
Runway 29er via Alpha for Papa Del Tango Mike, thanks. That was why we needed to wait, because these controllers need to hand off all their traffic, and so they need some time. Alright, good. Parking brakes released. Brakes are working. And there we go. So Alpha is over here. The taxiway is going to go to the left.
Ground, good afternoon. Citation 646 Delta Tango IFR Reno Tahoe.
So yeah, so I'm going to teach my girlfriend, hopefully in one day, to pass for the Cat 3 rating on PilotEdge. That means traffic pattern flying under
Delta
ADC.
Tango San Diego clearance. Standby clearance on request.
So this is, again, this is the non-movement or the movement area. So we could have actually already taxied all around as much as we like there, without needing any clearance of ground to do so. On the taxiway, though, we need clearance. Okay, turn indicator, slip indicator seems to be working, heading indicator as well. Attitude indicator is clear, or is stable, I mean. Engine is looking good as well, good. I think that's Evanok again here on final. I haven't heard him doing his downwind announcement, I think, but... So that's going to be really, really exciting, guys. Next Saturday. And she has no prior knowledge, or virtually no prior knowledge, or prior experience with flying. So let's see if she manages to learn how to fly a traffic pattern in just one day. And if you'd like to support her, as kind of like a reward of doing so, I guess, or to further support her interest in aviation, I donated, or I devoted my donation goal to saving up money for her to do a real-world introductory flight lesson afterwards, so she can transfer the things that she learns here on the channel or in her flight that day to the real world. And I'm going to video record that and share with you. So if you're liking this content, if you like what we do here, and especially when she's flying that Saturday, any donation amount is very much appreciated and helps her to a real world flight lesson very soon after. Okay, this is the run-up area. Good. So let's park over here. You can see Avanek is now in the crosswind, I think. Okay, engine is warm enough. It's quite hot actually. Let's do a run-up. 1800. No unshaded messages. Everything is completely stable. Not just the oil pressure, but also the instruments. Good. Then let's do a mag check. That's left. Looks good. Back to both. Right one. Good. Back to both. Landing lights on. See if the ammeter is still able to charge. It does. Slightly. Again, not really realistically simulated here in the stock 172, but still. Idle. Let's see if the engine doesn't quit. Oil pressure is still there. And all the instruments look good. Awesome. Back to 1000. Okay, we leave the mixture full in. Landing lights on. Strobe lights on. Trim is set. Fuel tank set to both. Alright, rejected takeoff. So when we're gonna depart, when we are below 1000 feet, we try to make the runway, but if we are too much high up, we're gonna pick a site 60 degrees in front of us. Because when we turn below 1000 feet AGL, we're not high enough to make that turn, and we actually ditch or in a worse position than when we actually figure out a safe place to land in front of us. So. Okay, and we're going to do a northbound departure, so that's going to be a right. I guess we're going to get a straight out, and then we're going to fly right and catch this needle. That's what we're going to do. Okay, one last time, because it's so important. Flight controls, whether they are still working, not been broken down by anything else we are not aware of. Good.
November 707.
Traffic in the Baron, where's Avanek?
At the Atlantic FBO.
I think Avanek is already making his base turn.
Over 707 Charlie
so we
Papa.
can wait.
Burbank ground, runway 8, taxi via Delta.
Switch to tower. And we can also put in our departure frequency. 120.55, was it?
Bear 3 down near the SoCal approach. Leaving Bravo airspace, counts out to restriction, resume 1 navigation, altimeter 3001.
Don't know where Avanek is. San Luis Tower, Skyhawk Papa Hotel, Tango, and Mike is holding short 29 at Alpha, ready for departure northbound.
R546 off contact Almani Tower 119 point, correction 121.2.
So two tower controllers, or two non-radar controllers, that's...
Cardinal 34633, SoCal approach, flighting 130.
Tower and radar at the same time?
I had like 3 other people calling, say again.
Don't hear anyone. Let's just wait. That's
calling
Avanek.
on answer. Say call sign.
Nice landing. Nice. Okay, let's just wait because apparently 3 others were also making an announcement. So let's give them right away. Right away. Let's try again.
Cheers 546 Golf. Almani Tower enter left base runway 19 clear to land.
Hey, head-up display. It's going well. Thank you for joining in on the stream. Just about to take off to Bakersfield. And again, notice the banner. Saturday, next Saturday, join.
707 shot from Burbank Tower runway.
Okay, after this one, I'm going to try.
Which runway are you holding short? I see, stand by.
Getting a bit tired now of how busy it is actually. This is just a simple Delta class airport. I just like to depart here. Stand by, stand by, stand by. I'm just gonna do it. I don't care. San Luis Tower, Sky Hotel Tango Mike is holding short 29 at Alpha, ready for departure northbound.
707 Charlie Papa, Burberry Tower, runway 8, clear for takeoff, wind calm. Cardinal 633, leaving Bravo airspace, cancel out to restriction, resume on...
Nav.
Actually, what are you doing at 5,500 there? That's gonna be a fail. You busted your altitude restriction, say intentions. It doesn't matter if you said it or not, it was what your instruction was. You were told to maintain VFR at or below 3,000 and it never got canceled. Uh, 34633.
In the meanwhile, Avanek is just making patterns like never before.
PHIM, San Luis Tower, runway 29, clear for takeoff, traffic Skyhawk, midfield.
Clear for takeoff 29, we've got the traffic inside. Papa Delta Tango Mike, thanks. Okay.
PHAVA, traffic Skyhawk departing now, runway 29, clear for the option.
Clear for the option 29, we have the traffic inside, Papa Hotel, Victor Alpha.
Alrighty. Here we go. Again, make sure no one's on the runway. Traffic or controllers can make mistakes. I experienced that once here. There's Avanek. Again, Avanek, thank you for joining in here and staying put. Much appreciated.
I'll let you continue the test for now.
Full power.
You need to understand
Engine is
that
in the green.
pilot,
Airspeed's
regardless
alive.
of the readbacks being correct or not, the pilots are responsible, are held responsible.
60 rotates.
Yeah, so if this was real world, which is not, this is training environment, that's why I'm letting you continue. But if this was real world, they would still write you up.
Nice.
So just be careful about trying to pay attention to those details.
See some traffic there on my 10 o'clock there up. You guys can see, no factor I guess, but just, they can become a factor.
633, you're still in the Bravo airspace here. You're leaving Bravo airspace in about 1.5 miles and cancel out to restriction, resume on navigation.
Now we're gonna get a call from Tower to switch departure soon.
7 Charlie Papa.
If not, we're gonna remind him because he's busy.
There. Verify squawk 4335. Contact departure.
Just gonna stick to straight out for just a while before making my right turn here to the north. I did mention to him northbound departure, but he didn't really repeat it to me, so just to be safe. So what I'm going to do is just grab his attention, just saying what altitude I am, and then he knows, I guess. Rather than asking for switching. Let's do that. San Luis Tower, Sky Hotel Tango Mike is climbing through 1,500.
PHCI on course approved, contact departure.
Over to departure, on course approved. Hotel Tango Mike. Switch.
Cardinal 346, correction.
So on course approved, so now we're going to make our turn while climbing.
35, IDEN.
And then we're going to say to departure. A so-called departure, here we are. So-called departure, Sky Hotel Tango Mike is climbing through 2,000 for 5,500.
Search 546 Golf, contact El Monte ground 125.9 received. Clip 70 some shot pop contact turn right heading.
Santa was over there.
I
think that's Avanek. Can we see him? Yeah, I can see him.
BHTAM, Santa Barbara departure, radar contact.
Radar contact, good. Could have said just Papa Hotel Tango Mike so he knows that I heard, but it's too late now. Alright, so we've got some terrain in front of us. The idea was that we're going to go straight to Shafter. This already tuned in here, as you guys know. So, yeah, really aggressively flying towards that needle. Heading indicator is synced with our compass, that's good. Nice climb, engine is looking good. What I should have done is use the clock. Surprise! I'm always forgetting to use the clock.
Citation 64
So we'll do,
runway 27, clip
as soon as we are above our next visual reference point, it's going to be that lake.
Alright, 17 Bravo Charlie, cross Meissen at maintain level 240.
What a gorgeous scenery once more.
PHAVA, runway 29, click the option.
It's so pretty. And gorgeous flying weather, guys. Again, the needle is very slowly creeping in while we are climbing. Also, I spotted a forum post on the Explain.org website of some guy related to the xEnviro team stating that they are completely rewriting the, or not completely, but a big significant rewrite of the xEnviro code of version 1.06 that I currently also have, that's currently also out, is the latest version. And that they're
Bravo Charlie, contact Los Angeles Center.
prepping
4.65.
Version 1.07. I can see some military aircraft, by the way, there to the left. Formation flight, as usual. Again, below 1500 feet AGL. But that can still pose a danger. And obviously we're now in flight following, so perhaps we're going to get a call of Santa Barbara departure here saying, hey Tim, do you see the traffic in front of you? Alright. Landing lights off. We're not in cruise yet, but far away from the airport. Our strobe lights remain on, beacon light remains on.
Citation 6 up, single contact.
But anyway, version 1.07, so I hope that a lot of stuff gets fixed. More smoother weather changes, not only clouds but also winds. More realistic also weather information being loaded. And they're going to go in beta this week. But then they're going to expect still some bugs that need to be fixed. So I think it's going to take a full month before the new version is going to be released.
Maintain 13,000 Las Vegas,
the next upgrade is going to be released.
Citation 6 Delta Tango.
All right, 5,500 is coming up. Gorgeous. Also these trails on top of these mountains.
Clip 7 Charlie, Alpha Clitorec, Fillmore.
We're also on the needle.
Clip 7 Charlie, contact Los Angeles Center 135.5.
There's our lake. Here to the right, as you guys can see. Alright, now, still full power. So let's just allow
PHAVA contact ground 121.6. Have a good day.
our speed to increase here. Also need to fly a little bit more to the right to catch that needle.
33 Juliet contact SoCal approach 119.6.
Get to this side. Awesome. Good. Nicely trimmed. Not really that necessary to trim yet because I'm going to reset my RPM. Also going to lean the mixture to
Clip 7 Charlie Papa Los
get a
Angeles Center
EGT rise. As you can see, the meter is really going up. Something like this. And it's not only to get a better burn, also more performance out of your Cessna, but it's also being much more conservative with fuel.
Clip 7 Charlie Papa Clitorec San Marcos.
As you can see, the fuel flow here, now this is full rich, it's almost double and less performance.
33 Alpha Juliet SoCal approach, number altimeter 3004.
But it is pretty. Look at this.
3 Alpha Juliet, if you haven't heard those words, you are not.
This is X-Plane 11.
And Baron 3 Alpha Juliet, at your altitude, you won't get a Bravo clearance until you're about, do you know where Mission Bay is?
So guys, here we
That's
are.
about 4 or 5 miles from the Limburg Airport. So it's really close to the airport there. Surface
I guess when we're going to near Bakersfield, we're going to be handed over to another controller. to approach, I guess. Bakersfield approach. $5,500. Yeah, it's a really simple flight, but I like these simple flights. Teaching my girlfriend how to fly. I'm so curious to see how well she will do. Traffic patterns on PilotEdge. Being pushed a little bit to the right here, I'm noticing. Very subtle. So I'm putting a little bit more left pedals here. Some clouds on our 1 o'clock. Having funny hearing myself twice. Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of like an echo sound, isn't it? At least that was the case for me when.
Cardinal 23 contact, SoCal approach 128.1.
How many laps did you make?
Citation 6 Delta Tango contact Los Angeles Center 128.6.
Guess 8 or so. DV Lori, love the videos. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for letting me know. Again, nicely trimmed.
Cardinal 34633, SoCal approach altimeter.
Let's just enjoy the view. And again, photo real scenery. So what we see is actually there, which is really useful for VFR training flights. So you can base your navigation on actual charts.
Citation 646 Delta Tango, Los Angeles Center, climb maintain follow 230.
6 to 7 maybe you're planning to quite long. Yeah, I know. I'm so sorry, Avanek. I'm so sorry. And it was not really my fault because A2C was really, really busy, but I really appreciate your perseverance in the pattern. And it's also good practice, I guess. Look at these haze. I think this is really one of the things that I really enjoy in the current version of xEnviro is the haziness. This atmospheric kind of feel to, well, the atmosphere, to the sky. It's really, really pretty. Also like how they distinguish, at least to me, morning haziness, or morning fog, and from evening haziness or fog. There's actually a difference there. It's really pretty. Nice sky colors. Good to hear, Avanek.
Citation 6 Delta Tango, clear direct shaft, contact Los Angeles Center 133.55.
Man, I can do this all day long. Alright, still at 2 reading. My GPS is saying, or DME is saying 64 nautical miles to Schefter. Long way to go. Straight line. Yeah, navigation wise, not that dynamic or exciting or challenging. But for once, I don't care. It's Sunday, tomorrow I'm going to start with work again. And again here in the Netherlands, it was such a hot day, summer day. It was a lovely day. Actually, I was at my parents' place. It's really, really nice. But it was such a summer day, such a typical summer hot day that I wasn't at all thinking about work, which is great. But then again, I need to prepare for work tomorrow. I've got a lot of things to do, so still need to. I'm actually extending, or I don't know the English word, extending the time to flip over the switch of need to go to work. So I really like this casual flight here to Bakersfield on the flight following, chatting with you guys. And again, Saturday, I'm just reminding, I will remind this in all my streams, in the upcoming streams up to Saturday. Saturday, guys, next Saturday, my gosh, my girlfriend will be sitting here on stream for the first time. She's actually quite anxious a bit to also be on stream, but also just to see whether she can actually meet up with the challenge and actually succeed with flying traffic patterns. And also, it's not just about flying patterns, it's also for doing the cat rating. So on PilotEdge, for the first time the same day. I have also, I can see her succeed actually quite rapidly. She's also a good car driver, I think. So perhaps she has a feel for, I guess, controlling the plane. I don't know. Could also be that it's actually quite hard or an impossible task, and that later the day we're still struggling just to land. But because it is subtle, and as a more experienced flight simmer, you kind of lose out on the. You forget about the hard work that's put into just doing a landing. So we'll see. Evan, I just remember her that the pedals are not gas and brake. Yeah, absolutely. And also what I found interesting, also as one of my very first flights that I did as a young kid, is that in
you gotta pay attention to the. Do you have the Bravo chart with you, or are you flying with the chart?
In contrast to like driving a car, when you make a turn in a car, you keep the steering wheel in that position to keep that degree of turning going on, right? With a plane, once you make a certain degree of a turn, you
didn't check that mission bay radial off to
turn back the yoke to neutral. Right? That's also a difference.
To the east of that radial. You're to the
and obviously
west
there are many other differences, but we're going to see. And again,
no, that's where you
it would be great if she passes the rating. But what I really like, again, also part of the spirit of the channel, is just seeing someone with an interest to fly, just to learn and just mess up and make mistakes, but just pushing on to master. I think that's really exciting to do, to teach to someone, but also I guess to share with you guys here on the stream.
From 1800 to 32, and from 6800 to 10,000. No, negative. You want to be in that corridor between 32 and 68 over on that side.
That's
You're not on that
the
side.
wind
You're
coming
to
from the
west.
north, as we
west from 1800 to 10,000.
studied as part of our pre-flights.
Juliet, if you look, that 1800 to 3200 segment.
Nice trails there to the right side. So again, if we've got an engine out, where would we land? Well, I guess in this deserted terrain, we've got a lot of space, no urban areas, but the main focus would be to land as closely as I can to a road, so we can be picked up easily and towed away. So I think a road like this would be interesting.
PHCIM, Los Angeles Center 135.5.
Over to Los Angeles Center 135.5. Proper touching you, Mike. All right, 135.5. And again, because of these controllers are chatting with each other, supposedly it's just the same person here on PilotEdge, but still in the real world, these because we've got a squawk code, all the controllers know what we're up to. So now when I'm signing into Los Angeles Center, I just can say, here we are. And they know, all right, we know, we were expecting you actually. Los Angeles Center, Sky Popper Hotel Tango Mike is level 5,300. Get an altimeter. That he knows that we are flying the same altitude as all of the other aircraft. I think I made a mistake there. 135.55. Was it, guys? Or did I make a mistake? 135.50. Thank you. Thank you, Mike Zulu Hotel. Evanek, didn't I make the same mistake in our flight as well? Something like that, I don't know. Los Angeles Center, Sky Hotel Tango Mike is level 5,300.
PHCIA Los Angeles Center, Bakersfield, altimeter 3001.
01, Papa Tango Mike.
Alright, 3 Alpha Juliet. The one that you say says 100 over 18, that's 10,000 to 1,800 feet. Whoa. That's the Bravo. That's what you're in. That's what you're in violation of. You're at 3,500
Someone is messing up
inside
there.
That area. It goes from 10,000 to 1,800.
And again, also, what's always good practice is when you're chatting with ADC, write that stuff down. Even though it's a simple frequency change.
And there are 3 options. If you see that little box that has an
At least
arrow
for me,
pointing
I
to
can
the
mess
east,
that up as well.
It says 32/18 and 100/68. You see that? And a 32/18.
Traffic in front of us. Again, seems like formation flight MTRs. Yep. Although I don't know if that's actually another aircraft or that reared beacon
that's
light
correct. That's the correct
error.
chart, but the 100/68 is up north. Just look south of that. There's a little square with two sets of numbers: 32/18 and 100/68. Okay, that means Bravo airspace starts at 1,800 feet, goes up to 3,200 feet. It
Someone's
stops.
getting a
There's
lesson
no
here.
Bravo, and then at 6,800 feet, it starts again and goes up to 10. So you
Now,
could
what's
go
interesting in
under
front of
it
us, you can see that the
below
military aircraft
1,800
there
feet,
is
or you could go
doing some
between
really nice turns,
3,200
but also
and
kind of like near
6,800
our
feet
own altitude.
if you're in that box that the arrow is pointing to.
And that's because even though we're on 5,500 feet and the MTR is...
Yeah, and that's
I think this
the Mission Bay 310
obviously is an
radio.
MTR that has
Just
a
look at the blue
4-digit
line,
MTR
Mission Bay
number, so that
310.
means that they are flying below 1,500 feet AGL. The ground elevation is rising while we're flying here. So we are actually now flying around 2,000 feet AGL, 1,500 feet AGL.
You're better off using the San Diego TAC. It's easier. It's always easier to use a terminal aerodrome chart or whatever.
So that's
it's called.
why always keep a lookout here, and also verify that your cruising altitude, even though it can clear terrain, it does not necessarily clear those MTRs. But again, we're on flight following, so the controller should have alerted us for that military traffic.
Let me know if you have any other questions.
What a nice flight. Also, I guess we're gonna land here with a nice sunset, it seems. Nice spot the sun.
Airdrop to the affirmative. The TAC, that's specially designed for Bravo areas. So
oh man, that pilot is not prepared.
No problem. Our 187 Papa Whiskey, Center Tower, runway 25 left, cliff, takeoff, wind 25010.
Now there's one obvious issue, but one thing that seems quite apparent. Now, terrain ahead of us.
Cardinal 63, contact SoCal approach 119.6.
Ah, there's a sudden weather change by xEnviro. Not a biggie, but still. Anyway, terrain in front of us. I think we can, we should be able to overfly just fine. But it's going to be a close one. Now, again, on flight following, we're not like, it's not like flying on IFR. So it's not like I can go to the left, to the right. I can also change my altitude, but it's good if you're going to make a significant change. Also, for example, if we would be flying into that weather there on our 1 o'clock, that would be in front of us, and we need to divert to, because we're VFR, fly around it or above it.
Cardinal 34623.
Just let flight following know. Not because you have to, but because also you like them to know what you're doing, and so they can see whether your changed cruising altitude might interfere with other flights.
I believe it was 832 Papa Whiskey aircraft again.
So it's more like you are updating them about what you're doing. If you make a significant change, if I would now change my path a bit and go to the left, I don't need to know them, let them know. But or when I'm already starting my descent for my destination airport, that might be you can just say, well, starting to descend to 3,000, and then they say, Roger. The only time when they are really assigning you instructions is, but that's not really about flight following, really. It's when you're departing from a Class Charlie airport, for example, John Wayne, there are specific departure routes, well, not really routes, but directions to fly, and also airspaces to avoid. So also when you're on flight following, and it's actually at a Charlie airport, you're always on the flight following while departing the airspace, because it's all radar oriented, radar governed, and those guys would really like to ensure traffic separation. They say depart, fly this heading, and do not climb through 2,400 feet or so. And then once you're there, you're leaving the airspace, they say, okay, resume on course, your VFR, but always stick to your squawk code if you're on flight following.
187 Papa
And you just do your everyday thing like I do now.
Maintain 9,000.
But that's not really related to flight following. I guess just bigger airports also assign you a departure heading and a departure altitude or limit or ceiling. Santa Barbara as well, I think. It's getting dark. Nice. Again, I just love
I think you missed
the
your turn there
photo
at the
reel.
154 radial. You're supposed to turn to 201.
Who is that guy? Is that the same guy who's making up the mistakes there?
R7 Pop Whiskey, no, I'm flight heading 160. You're already past that radio. Flight heading 180.
Again, a little bit more high up, but that's because of the terrain here. We are allowed to legally because we are below 3,000 feet AGL of the terrain. And again, these are subtle altitude differences, so this will not probably concern ADC here. It's just about 300 feet above our cruising altitude, which is not significant. I do need to stick on my radial, by the way. Look at these mountain formations. It's just so pretty. And again, I mentioned this in one of the previous streams as well, and I'm noticing the same thing happening right now. For the first time now, flying an X-plane with photo reel, I'm actually curious, interested in my outside view. Just to learn about California, about the landscape, about the rivers, about the urban areas. It's like exploring Google Earth in many ways. Which I didn't have at all with flying Orbix and Prepared. So let's fly a little bit more inbound into that.
Flip 7 Charlie Papa, maintain 9,000.
We're passing on, flying over, crossing over a MTR. Some traffic there, far away, no vector above us. Again, I would hope flight following would let us know if there's any military traffic there. Also, when there's traffic very near other traffic, they get an alert. So beep, 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 and their attention is grabbed, hopefully, and they can act. Ah, there's traffic. You guys can see. But still, even on their flight following, we are ultimately responsible for staying clear of traffic, but ATC will just give us some alerts. Again, we can fly a little bit more aggressively to catch that needle. Also, nighttime is also, yeah, it's just fun facts, I think. Nighttime isn't officially formally started when the sun has set. It's actually an hour after. I was thinking about turning my nav lights on, and actually that shouldn't be that much dependent on that formal rule of when it's officially sunset. Just use it just to be safe. But I was thinking about nighttime, and I thought
3 to Papa Whiskey, runway 30.
it's actually nighttime an hour after. Let's just turn our nav lights on.
Number 187 Papa Whiskey, contact SoCal departure 127.4.
Alright, I'm feeling too comfortable, and my viewers, you guys have taught me that that's not a good thing. Use your DV, quick question, did you give up completely on the Airfall Labs 172? Well, kinda. I still like the realism, I like the pre-flight stuff, and I would love to see it here in the stock. But I've been waiting for about a year or so for an updated version, and it's, I don't know, the Airfall Labs product has been contaminated with disappointment, and I don't feel it anymore. I like sim coders. I want them to make a Cessna 172 reality extension pack.
R187 Papa Whiskey, SoCal departure flight.
Yeah, Kimo, I agree.
Altimeter.
It's good, but it's not that realistic. But it deserves a reality extension pack. Traffic there on our 1 o'clock, just over the compass. You guys see it? I don't know if you guys can see this stuff, but you zoom in. Can you see now? No. Well, it is there, traffic. Also an airfield here to the left. Anyway, what I was doing was preparing for my arrival. 5,500. DME is saying 30 miles, so still we've got a long way to go. But that doesn't mean that we cannot prepare. Still get some rising air here, but still. Map. 30 miles out. Somewhere around this area at the end. Okay, so Bakersfield. Whoa, come on. Strong winds. You always be aware what my Skyhawk is doing here. So yeah, Delta. What are the runways? We've got 12 right and 30 right. What are the winds doing? Well, let's listen to ATIS. Shall we do that? Might be good preparation. COM2 118.6. Set that already. Let's have a listen.
Meadows Field Information Whiskey.
Whiskey.
100 Zulu weather. Wind light and variable. Visibility more than 10.
Good.
Sky clear.
Yeah, okay, so we got whiskey, perfect flying weather. Okay. 30 miles out. 30 right is a right pattern, but the controllers are actually quite free, and sometimes even when it's right pattern, they might say to you, enter left base. And I think because we're coming here from the west, we're gonna get a left downwind entry. Or 30 right. That's the main runway. And we've got whiskey. Come on! Yep. Perhaps we're gonna switch over to Bakersfield approach soon. So no reason to set the Bakersfield tower frequency just yet. Okay.
Cherokee 32 Papa Whiskey, countdown point 9er. Have a good one.
Nice airfield there. That's gonna be. Let me see. What's that gonna be? We're on the needle. Yeah. So that must be. Oh, that's Belridge. It's a private airport. No, a private airport doesn't have a control tower. Or perhaps it's just default objects that are put there. I don't know. Anyway, what I do see is here's the big highway.
For 187 Papa Whiskey, maintain.
But I also, this is a river. This might perhaps be a river. I can see some glitters there. This is the big highway, obviously, with all the lights. Good. So that means that, yeah. That's the Highway 5 here. Good. And there's Belridge. Let's see. Means that Elk Hills should be to the right of us. Let me see. Can we see another airport here to the right? Evanek, I saw a private airport with its own Delta class today. Oh, right. Don't know how that works. I guess that guy has some money. I see some lights, some airport lights there in the distance, guys. That must be Bakersfield.
Reserve Charlie Pop, report to airfield night 10 o'clock, 10 mile.
Yeah, let me know, Evanek.
Reserve Charlie Pop, clear vision approach, runway 29.
Look at this scenery, guys. It's so damn pretty. Look. Even though I saw the prepared version 4 movies, previews, and I really like that those guys now moved on to 64-bit.
7 Pop Whiskey on your present heading, join the mission bay
But
320 radio.
again, in terms of graphics, in terms of atmospheric immersion, it's still 64-bit. The third-party developers will obviously utilize the 64-bit architecture to make some awesome new software, but I noticed that I wasn't even caring anymore. I'm an ex-plane flyer. Okay, what we can do is already start our descent a bit. I can see the airport already. You can say to the controller now, we've got the airport inside, which is code for we don't need any flight following anymore. You can also say terminate flight following, but yeah. So
Eclipse 7 Tropic contact San Luis Tower 164.0.
let's just see, tower is 118.1.
Cardinal 633 contact Limber Tower 118.3. Beware 185 Center Center right.
Okay. We were with Los Angeles Center, right? Yeah. Los Angeles Center, Sky, Pop Hotel, Tango, Mike's got the airfield inside. Start our descent.
Eclipse 707 Charlie Pop San Luis Tower, runway 29er, clear to land, wind 290.11.
Pull back on the throttle here and start our descent already. To listen for a reply by the controller. It's so pretty. Sorry guys that I'm getting repetitive, but man, this is awesome. Los Angeles Center, Skyhawk, Pop Hotel, Tango, India Mike has the airfield inside. We're already starting our descent here.
PHTIM, Roger, contact Bakersfield approach 118.8.
Over to Bakersfield approach 118.8, Pop Hotel, Tango, Mike. Okay, so apparently we need to go to Bakersfield approach first. Okay, 118.8. Even though we kind of said we don't need flight following. Okay. Bakersfield approach, Sky Pop Hotel Tango Mike is now descending through 5,200 inbound for a full stop, Bakersfield.
Citation 6 Tango, contact Oakland Center 127.45.
Yeah, I totally agree, guys.
PHTIM, Bakersfield approach, altimeter 3001. They're landing runway 30 right.
Altimeter 01 and we'll expect a 30 right, Pop Hotel Tango Mike. Because we're still on approach, so approach cannot give us any clearance. 01 he said, that's still okay. Good, we are descending. Traffic pattern altitude was just 1,000, so that was 1,500. So 1,500 feet AGL is going to be, or MSL is going to be our traffic pattern altitude. So let's gradually start our descent here. Look at this highway, and again, it just amazes me, again, with the performance, and it shouldn't be, but coming from FSX and prepared version 3, that these highways are filled with traffic, with cars. Also these other roads, still having 60 plus frames per second, it's just amazing. I have to be honest though, I not flying with full max settings, I could, but combined with streaming, I don't have a separate streaming PC. I get about 45 frames per second, which is actually still good, but not good enough for me, actually. That's not because I'm so elite, but I'm noticing the difference between 45 frames per second and 60.
Ground 1-6, have a good day.
Especially now with TrackIR, it needs to be quick.
Number 7 for whiskey. Contact local approach 128.1.
So I'm ignoring the VOR. Schefter, I just see the airports. The airport there to the left of us, let's confirm that that makes sense. And it does. That's Schefter Minter. Awesome, so we are not misidentifying the airfield, because as you guys know, who've been watching and following me, I'm very proficient, very well trained in misidentifying airports. See an aircraft there to the right of us.
Number 187 whiskey, SoCal approach, gentlemen altimeter 3001.
That's a follow by Zoo. Thank you, Zoo, for following. Thanks. Welcome aboard. Again, look at this. Yeah, I don't know how you call this. Some horizon haziness stuff. It's so pretty. Again, the kind of an evening fog here with the mountains there. It's just gorgeous. So 3-0 right, he said, that we can expect still. We're not in tower with tower yet, so we can expect that. He didn't say any entry, but I think we're going to get a left downwind, even though it's a right pattern here on the sectional. I think also in the real world they can change that up accordingly.
Cardinal 63, do you already have a landing clearance? You are clear to land.
Evanek, William P. Gwynn Airport, 06 Foxtrot Alpha in Florida, northwest of Miami. Okay. Some rich guy has its own Delta class airports. Okay. Also, Evanek, I don't know if you're still there, but we should look into FS economy. Because I'm also curious in tinkering with that as well, and to earn some money, virtual money. Again, xEnviro is loading new weather, and again, this is what I'd like to see fixed in the next version. But it's more gradual, subtle, and not noticeable. Yeah, we should. Well, perhaps let me just do another announcement here on the stream. For any Dutch PilotEdge flyers, so people who are living in the Netherlands flying on PilotEdge, send me an email on uncertified@gmail.com, because I'm thinking about starting a virtual flying club with Evanek, so we can schedule more shared and group flights, which I think is really fun. So if you're Dutch and flying on PilotEdge, also preferably flying small GA aircraft like Cessnas,
Cardinal 63, exit when able, contact
send me a
ground
message so we
123.9.
can figure things out. Cooper, a real one? What do you mean, real one? Oh, with Evanek. No, a virtual one, I guess. If he likes to buy a fleet of real-world Cessna 172s, I'm gonna poke him to get mine as well. If he has the money to get a whole fleet, he can miss out on one, I guess. And if I would buy my own Cessna 172, I wouldn't buy one with with the G1000 in it. I would still like to have the steam gauges, I think, because I just like them. They're old school, they're awesome, they are nostalgic, they're cool. But I do like to have the GTN 750. So one big giant iPad screen here that kind of like is like this one, but bigger. Landing lights, let's turn those on so we're visible. 1500 feet is going to be the... Again, it's time to get into tower because I'd like to hear my entry procedure here. Bakersfield approach, Sky Pop Hotel Tango Mike as the airport inside, a few miles out.
PHTIM, contact Bakersfield Tower 118.1.
Over the tower, 118.1 by Pop Hotel Tango Mike. 118.1. Well, let's do a quick 118 point. Whoop. Should have dialed the other way around, but still. 118.1. We still pretend that we got whiskey. Not on board, but weather information. Bakersfield Tower, Sky Pop Hotel Tango India Mike is 4 miles west, currently at 1,800 inbound for a full stop. We have whiskey.
PHTIM, Bakersfield Tower, enter left base, runway 30 right, and clear to land, wind variable 3.
Left base, runway 30 right, and clear to land, Papa Hotel Mike. Okay, left base, so we can shortcut our downwind entry, which I would actually expect, and I think in the real world that would make more sense actually, but I did ignore that instruction once and just entered on the downwind, I think with Marcus. And he said, I didn't instruct you to enter on the downwind, I did instruct you to enter on the base. And I thought, well, doesn't really matter that much in terms of time, but... Anyway, after that I thought, okay, let's just do what they ask us to do. So that's what I'm going to do as well. So 30 is over there, so I'm just going to fly over and then enter the left base. 30, right? And we already cleared the land, so yeah, guys, it's pretty basic.
S1.E70A, SoCal departure.
What's also a good tip is to at airports that have more runways and more ramps where you can park, is when you call up tower, also after flight following, but just in any case, also for Charlie airports or Delta airports, is also to say on what side you like to park, so they know you prefer a particular runway. For example, with Palm Springs, I like to park with the ramp on the north side, that smaller ramp. So I say Palm Springs Tower, Sky Pop Hotel Tango Mike is 10 miles out with information whiskey, inbound for a full stop, like to park at the east side or north side or whatever. And then they know. And I seen guys do that as well in the real world. And also when you don't, sometimes like guys like Marcus would say, also when you just did your announcement saying where do you like to park, so they can accommodate your arrival. Now let's focus. 100 knots, that's good. We can still keep some speed in here. On downwind we should have already pushed one flap down. Let me see, there's Bakersfield. Now, as Evanak and I noticed in one of our earlier flights here to Bakersfield, the the runway threshold starts really far ahead, so there's a big chunk of runway where we cannot land. Can someone look up how that is called? The initial part of a runway with all the arrows. How is that called? That's not a run-up area, right? It's a how do you call that? Hey Ben, good to see you on the stream.
Roman 81376, verify your call sign.
Okay, so let's reduce our speed here. This is Bakersfield City. It's a blast pad. Or fighter jets? No, is that what it's called, Avanek? I think there's another name for that. For the arrows, right? In front of the threshold where you can do your takeoff roll but cannot land.
It should say it on whatever you're logged into. It should tell you what you're if you're on X-Plane, you're in the plug-in, or if you're on the flight sim side, and you have the application launched. It should say your call sign.
So heading bug to the left side. There goes our speed. In the white band, we're gonna set that another notch of flaps, 20 degrees. Runway safety area. I think there was another name, but I might be mistaken, and you're totally right. I don't know, but I thought that it was called.
Area 137. I think I figured out the problem there. Standby 1.
So that's our speed. We're already cleared to land, but just to make sure, there's some traffic there. Well, far away. That's not a factor. Some traffic here to the left of me, but also no factor.
1376. You're looking for IFR.
Good having
center.
And the guys in your stream answered with that question then? Displaced threshold. Yeah, that's what it's called, I think.
Maintain 5,000. Expect 8,000. 10 minutes after departure.
30 right is over there. Departure and again, the runway starts like around there or so. So
8.6.
Just keep my altitude here.
323.
Alright, again, one final check, then one to the right. Look at these lights, guys. This is so pretty. Look at these lights. This is correct for flight simmers. Alright. Speed.
Grumman 176.
Bit high, but
ready for departure.
Who cares? One red on the Papi, two reds on the Papi. Speed is okay. Let's put a little bit more speed in. So this is called a displaced threshold. Right. So where are we going to park? We should have actually also prepared that as part of our arrival planning. But I'm just going to park near the tower. I'm a bit familiar now with Bakersfield. Alright, trimming a bit. Let's see if we can nail this landing. Winds were variable, so I don't expect any crabbing or forward slipping here. Speed around 60. Also read about that you're not actually obliged or forced to fly full flap landings. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, it was okay. It was okay. Flaps up. Also trying to stay here on the center line. I can see the green lights here in front of me suggesting that I can already clear the runway over here. Let's do that. The quicker we are clear from the runway, the better. And there are the threshold lines. And here we are. Boom! At Bakersfield. Thank you, Avanek. Alright. So, landing lights off, strobe lights off. Set to 1,000 so the engine just keeps warm. Oh! Ha! I forgot about that one. A mixture. And that's not really a big problem though for the engine. But in case you go for a go-around, you need to have full power. So it's a problem when you actually need to go full power. And yeah, I should have reminded myself. And that's why you need to do an arrival checklist again. Okay, but that's set for ground now. That's okay. And we are on tower and we need just to say that we are here. Golf. Bakersfield Tower, Skypop Hotel Tango, and Mike is clear of the runway at Golf. Taxi to parking. Where do you like to park at? Well, I think that he will just say taxi to the ramp. Whatever.
PHTIM, contact Bakersfield, ground 121.7. You have a good one.
Over the ground 121.7. Thanks for the help, Papa Tango Mike. Okay. Usually he never bothers. 121.7. 121.7.
187 Papa Ski contact SoCal approach 1.
John Wayne clearance. Go ahead with your request.
Let's also put our taxi lights on, by the way.
Request VFR flight following to Palm Springs.
Oh, because the ground controller is another guy, I guess. Currently on. Thank you, Cessna Skypilot. No one else? Okay. Bakersfield ground Skyhawk Hotel Tango Mike is clear of the runway at Golf taxi to the tower.
Calling ground, I'm sorry, say again.
That's Papa Hotel Tango Mike at Golf, clear of 30 right. I would like to taxi to the parking.
Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, taxi to the ramp via Alpha.
Via Alpha to the ramp, Papa Hotel Tango Mike. Okay.
Going ground,
It's
57 Delta X-ray.
I think
Good
Keith
afternoon. We have
talked
Lima
about
signature east ready for
these
taxi.
new collaborations or coordinations of ATC. Thank you for following, Grandpa. Thank you. Welcome on board.
R572 Delta
Talked
X-ray.
about these new coordinated ATC things, where it's not just one guy who is coordinating
John Wayne ground taxi,
tower, ground,
runway
or
20
clearance, and
left
the others
kilo, taxi
departure
via Alpha,
and all the
Hotel
radar stuff.
Charlie.
But that they intertwine those. So one
20
guy
left
does
to
ground,
Alpha,
the other
Hotel
does
Charlie,
tower, the
572
other does
Delta
departure,
X-ray.
the other, so that you, in a flight, chat also to other controllers, with which just enriches the ATC experience. And that's, I think, what's happening now in my flight, which I think is really, really cool. I really like what they're doing there. It seems like a nice ramp. Alrighty. So again here, the non-movement area threshold line. So now we are free to do whatever. We can spin around here, do pirouettes without any clearance.
John Wayne clearance delivery, Eclipse 142.
Let me park over here.
Hear my request.
Eclipse 422 Echo affirmative, standby, clearance northwest.
Okay. So there we are. Let's first turn off the transponder. Off. Cut off. Wait until the prop stops. Now we turn off the switch. Then the batteries. Park and brakes are on. Switch the fuel tank to the lowest side. Well, there's not really a lowest side, so just pick the left. And there we are, guys. Yes, Cessna Skypilot, I did so. I knew that you were going to catch me there, but I remembered. So a really nice casual flight. Love the scenery. Yeah, what can I say? I really like these flights. With flight following went pretty well. Let's have a look at the landing. Just because we can. Disconnect first. Important. Let's have a look. Ah. Lucky strike there. Shift 4 or Shift 5 from the tower. With my door open. Well, let's pretend that we don't see. Look at these lights. It was so pretty. Now let's just go one step closer. Okay, runway. We're not really crabbed. A tiny bit. There's the runway. Yeah, so it was okay. The nose wheel touched the runway latest, but there wasn't really a nice flare or a... Let me see. Back. And slow motion. Here, you can see I just touched down immediately, and I would have just seen a little bit more of a flare before I touched down, but these are just subtle things. I was still quite pleased. Then, though, yeah, you can see my nose wheel is a little bit left of the runway, so I'm correcting for that. And I'm actually quite messy here, wiggling around on the runway. And that's because when I'm on the runway, there is still, I'm still being pushed to the left. So I should always remain to give some right pedals there. And what I do is just go completely neutral when I touch down. And so then I need to correct again to find out, rediscover that I should put in some right pedals. Okay, one more time. Hey, just Alex, good to see you here. Welcome. Where do you get all of your layouts for your stream? I made them myself. Not. No, that's too. That's better. What else? Oh yeah, this is also a nice action-driven. And guys, did you know that I retweeted it on my Twitter channel? It was kind of fun. That Top Gun 2, the second movie by Tom Cruise, is going to be directed and produced. Top Gun 2. I think that's cool. Zzz, boom. Nice. Okay, let's have a look at our track here. So, yeah, it was pretty basic. So I was kind of surprised that we were giving a that we got a left base entry and not just a left downwind. Well, who cares? But still, that was the case. You can see it was good height. I wasn't too high. So okay. Let me just go a little bit back to the cruise flights. Yep. Also, Evanek, what view do you use to really zoom out quickly? Because I cannot zoom out quickly. What view is that? I like to get a real high up look of my flight path. So again, this was okay. Is it chase? Is this chase? What is chase? That's one. I don't know what the key binding is here. Well, perhaps it's just me. But in terms of cruising, it was very, very basic. It was just guiding that needle toward Bakersfield. Nothing really exciting going on there. It was a really basic flight. I did make sure that I wasn't misidentifying my airport, which was okay as well. Yeah, what else can I say? Let's also take a look at our departure here. See if we can see anything there. Little slight turn to the left. Well, a big one. We had some winds, I think. Yeah, there were winds. About, what was it, 6 knots or so. So I should also did some crosswind correction here during taxi, which I didn't do. And I totally forgot about that. And you can see also while I was climbing here upwind, I was being pushed off to the left. And as part of a straight out departure, you actually need to be grabbed into the wind and just go on the extended center line there of the runway. Also counts for traffic pattern flying. So yeah, that's something that I should have done. And then yeah, I departed, switched over to departure and to the Schefter VOR. In chase, use the camera back control. Yeah, I was using my scroll wheel. That was it, right? The scroll wheel on my mouse. Well, it doesn't work for me. I use it with all the views. Excuse me. Anyway, guys, really nice flight. Let me go back to reality. No, that's not what I want. I just want to go back. Oh, I was already back. Yeah. Controller away. Shift 9. I'll even go out of the cockpit a bit. Yeah. Let me see. It's like this. Control P away. I'd like to have some nice ending shot here. Oh yeah. So, guys, that was my casual flight today from one Delta airport to the next with flight following. So that completes my daytime short range towered cross-country flight, which I was pretty pleased at. And again, the big announcement of the day was that next Saturday at 0800 Zulu, I'm gonna teach my girlfriend, hopefully, to pass for the Cat 3 rating on PilotEdge with no prior knowledge, no prior experience with flying. From scratch, she's going to sit down in this chair with a headset on like this. I'm going to sit next to her and we're going to stream every second of how she manages, hopefully, to get that traffic padding going. And I think that's going to be really, really exciting. Also, as part of that, stream, I dedicated my donation goal to saving up money for her to do a real-world introductory flight lesson. Which I think is really, really interesting. And obviously, when she passes for her CAT rating eventually, hopefully also that day, she get the chance, an opportunity to transfer her gained and developed flight skills in the real world. And that's going to be pretty, pretty exciting, I think. So if you'd like to support that event, if you'd like to support us sharing our learning experiences, our interest in flying, any donation amount is very, very much appreciated. You can also start donating already, but especially on that day, we'll see if we can actually reach that donation goal, because that's going to be really, really interesting, and also like to nurture her interest in flying, obviously. So any help is really really appreciated. Hey, Shara Echo. Yeah, you're a bit late, but you can rewatch the stream in just a bit. Yeah. So, guys, again, that completes the flight of today. Big announcement, Saturday, 0800 Zulu, be there. And join in our stream. It's going to be a 10-hour stream or so, continuous stream. And it's going to be really, really challenging and exciting. I need to prepare myself, actually, how to train her. I'm going to sit next to her, just see if we can even manage to do that in 10 hours. So if you're as curious as we are and as excited as well, you're very, very welcome to jump aboard. I guess I'm going to stream also in the next few days in preparation of that flight on Saturday. But mark it down in your schedule and be sure to be there. Again, guys, thank you for your comments. Thank you for your presence here on the channel. As always, that's very, very much appreciated. Happy flights, blue skies, and hoping to see you very, very soon. Bye. Palm Springs Tower, Skyline Hotel Tango. Your mic is 10 miles north of the airport at 3000 with information X-ray and for a full stop. Landing 13 left if that's available.
Papa Hotel Tango, India Link, Palm Springs Tower, squawk 6250.
6250.
Papa Hotel Tango, India Link, Palm Springs altimeter is 2985, radar contact about 10 miles west of the Palm Springs VOR. Presently landing runway 31, so requesting straight up for 13.
That's available. Yes, please.
Correction, Papa Hotel Tango, India Link, make straight in runway 13 left, and clear to land. Wind is 0905.
Clear to land, runway 3 left, Papa Hotel Tango, India Link, thanks.
Palm Springs, clearance plus 4658 is type PC12 time call request jumps to Vegas S1.
Plus 4658, Palm Springs clearance. Good afternoon. Unable to give you that file, I'll be forwarded to them. Plus 4658 is cleared to the Las Vegas airport. VFI Cathedral 1 departure procedure to Palm Springs. Victor 370 to 29 Palms. Victor 538. Cresso. Join the Cresso 3 arrival. Maintain 7,000. Expect flight level 2, 5 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 126.7, squawk 6316.
Plus 4658 straight to Vegas via Cathedral 1, Palm Springs, Victor 37029, Palms, Victor 538, Cresso 3, initially climb 7,000, expected cruiser Archer 5, departure 167, squawk 6316 plus 465.
Pause 4658, readback is correct. Tango, you might taxi to ground via Echo or managed frequency.
Taxiing to the ramp via Echo on this frequency, Papa Hotel Tango, India Link.
Ontario Tower, Cessna 237 Charlie Alpha, approximately 4 miles to the west, inbound to land.
Number 237 Charlie Alpha, roger, inner left, traffic. Left downwind runway 26 left, before base.
And left downwind 26 left, and we'll call you base 237 Charlie Alpha.
German Tower United 242 on the visual for 20 right, will be turning you for a right base shortly.
United 242 Jolly Tower, runway 20 right, clear to land, wind 170 at 13.
Clear to land 20 right, United.
Papa Hotel Kilo ILS 184.
Near 520 Yankee Kilo Palomar Tower, runway 24, clear to land, wind 210 at 11. Number 237 Charlie Alpha, roger, inner left, traffic. Left downwind 26 left, before base. And left downwind 26 left, runway 24, clear to land, wind 210 at 11. Number 237 Charlie 46 left, clear to land.
Just left clear to land 7 Charlie Alpha.
Palm Springs ground to us 4658 East Ramp.